The Headless Millionaire Mystery. The brutal unsolved murders of Russell and Shirley Dermond. It's a crime that still haunts Georgia. A murder so bizarre, so brutal, that even seasoned investigators were left speechless. A wealthy couple, a quiet lakeside home, no forced entry, no witnesses, and then something out of a nightmare. Russell Dermond, a retired millionaire, found beheaded. His wife, Shirley, missing until her body surfaced days later in a nearby lake. A $25,000 reward was put on the table. But here's the catch: 10 years later, no one knows who did it or why. The Dermonds weren't just any couple. They were in their 80s, married for over 60 years. The perfect image of a peaceful retirement. They lived in Great Waters, an upscale gated community along Lake Oconee. Safe, quiet, the kind of place where people left doors unlocked. But behind that picture-perfect life, something was waiting. May 2014. Russell and Shirley are expected at a friend's Kentucky Derby party, but they never show up. Strange. Friends call. No answer. Finally, neighbors check in, and what they find is straight out of a horror film. Russell is inside the garage, slumped over, headless, his body staged in a way that suggests deliberate placement. And Shirley? She's gone. No trace. Immediately, sirens flood the quiet neighborhood. Sheriff's deputies tape off the home. The FBI gets called in. Is that serious? Nothing stolen. No jewelry missing. No valuables touched. The couple's cars are still there. The home isn't ransacked. And here's the strangest part: no forced entry. It looked like the Dermonds either let someone in, or that someone had access all along. The brutality of the crime didn't fit the scene. Who decapitates an 88-year-old man, yet leaves everything else untouched? For 10 long days, Shirley's fate is a mystery. Is she kidnapped? Is she alive somewhere? Then the lake gives up its secret. Shirley's body floats to the surface, weighted down, tied with cinder blocks. She had been brutally beaten and dumped like garbage. The theory shifts. This wasn't random. This was calculated. The FBI steps in, treating it like organized crime. But there's no mob connection, no drug ties. Russell was a retired executive of Hardee's. Not exactly cartel material. Investigators pull surveillance from nearby marinas. Nothing. They question workers, neighbors, even family. Still nothing. No fingerprints. No DNA. No witnesses. It's like ghosts committed the crime. Naturally, suspicion falls on the children. After all, money was involved. Russell and Shirley were millionaires. But the Dermond kids were cleared. No evidence. No motive. Next, investigators look at disgruntled employees from Russell's past. Nothing. Old enemies? Still nothing. The case gets colder by the day. Here's where things get chilling. Why remove Russell's head? Police believe it was to hide a bullet wound, which means Russell was likely shot. But here's the kicker. No blood trail. No shell casings. No head. It's like the killer erased every sign of the weapon used. And Shirley, why beat her to death instead of shooting her too? Why dump her in the lake while leaving Russell inside the garage? The methods don't match. It feels personal, almost ritualistic. Rumors start flying. Some neighbors whisper about boating activity near the Dermonds' dock that night. Others claim they saw unfamiliar vehicles near the gated entrance. But with no cameras catching clear evidence, it's all speculation. Then investigators uncover something else. Russell and Shirley's son, Mark, had been murdered years earlier in a drug-related shooting. Could this have been revenge? A hit connected to their son's past? The timing seemed off, but the brutality lined up. Still, police never find a link. Months turn into years. The reward grows, but tips dry up. It becomes one of Georgia's most infamous unsolved murders. The FBI publicly admits frustration. Sheriff's deputies say it's the most bizarre case they've ever worked. A gated community, security, neighbors close by. Yet no one saw or heard a thing. It's as if the killer knew exactly how to slip in and out. In 2021, a new theory emerges. Could the Dermonds have been targeted not for who they were, but for where they lived. Great waters sat along a popular smuggling route. Some investigators suggested drug traffickers may have mistaken the Dermonds' home for another target. A case of wrong place, wrong time. But if that's true, why decapitate? Why stage the bodies in two different ways? The case sits frozen. But then, just when people stop talking, something unexpected surfaces. A fisherman reports seeing a suspicious boat the night of the murders. A boat no one else had mentioned before. One with lights off, moving slow, hugging the shoreline. Investigators reopen parts of the case. Could the killers have come from the water? Did they use the lake to slip away unnoticed? And if so, was Shirley's body in the lake because she saw something she wasn't supposed to? The mystery of Russell and Shirley Dermond remains unsolved. No head, no murder weapon, no arrests, but the whispers haven't stopped. Was this revenge? A mob-style warning? Or a tragic case of mistaken identity? In part 2, we'll dive deeper into the new leads, the FBI theories, and the chilling possibility that the killer may have been much closer to the Dermonds than anyone ever suspected. Because if someone could commit a crime this brutal, in a gated community, without leaving a trace, the question isn't just who killed the Dermonds. Are they still out there? If this story left you questioning everything you thought you knew, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because here, we uncover the darkest crimes, the wildest twists, and the truths hidden in plain sight.